Good morning, it's Carissa, Beauty by Carissa. I am the creator of the Skin Tightening Serum skincare line, and this morning we are going to make the Pink Lady. What is the Pink Lady? It is a skin tightening hyaluronic acid, and it is a pink color, and it is beautiful, and it is nourishing for your skin, delivering antioxidants, peptides, fatty acids, and amazing hydration and vitamin C. Let's do this. The ingredients that you're going to need are dry rose petals, dry hibiscus flowers, hyaluronic acid powder, vitamin C powder. You're going to need pomegranate seed oil, rosehip seed oil, geranium essential oil, and fennel seed essential oil. What I'm going to make is going to be in a 1 ounce container. I would recommend using a dark bottle, but my dark bottles are not in yet. I ordered them and I've used them all. So what I'm going to store this in is a light container, and I'm going to wrap it in foil, and I'm going to sit it in my refrigerator so that it is basically dark. So how are we going to do this? First of all, we need to use water. You need to use filtered, distilled, or spring water for this. Either one of those are fine. I'm actually going to measure out the water that I'm going to use. I'm going to use 2 of these here. 1, 2, because you have some evaporation within water when it begins to steam. Next, we're going to take our hyaluronic acid and get that started. So you want to get your hyaluronic acid, and you're going to put about half a teaspoon in there. Don't eyeball it like I do. And you're going to take some of the water that we're going to make from this and put it in here. So we have to make our water before we use it. So just set this aside. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take these hibiscus flowers, and you only need a tiny, tiny bit, about half of a teaspoon. You're then going to take your dried rose petals, about a pinch, like that, just about that much. And you're going to put it right into your pot, and then we're going to turn this on, and we're going to get this going, and it's going to boil. So we'll be right back. Alright, so while we're waiting for this to boil, let me introduce myself if you're just watching me for the first time. My name is Carissa with Beauty by Carissa. I create custom skincare recipes. On my website, I have a directory of over 100 skincare, hair care recipes that are absolutely free, and you can get the recipes and make them at home just like this. I also have a skincare line on the market that's available called the Skin Tightening Serum Skincare Set. In addition to that, I have a VIP group with over 5,000 ladies in there doing this for their skincare and having amazing transformations every day on my website. There's a big pink button at the top of the welcome page that says join VIP group free, and we would love to have you there. Let's get back to it. Alright, so these are boiling really nice, and you can see the color is pink. Everything that we use here is going to be consistent with a pink color, which is why this is called the Pink Lady. We need to let this cool down now before we can actually use it in our recipe. Alright, so this is still warm, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a cheesecloth strainer. This is the one that I like. I did get this from TikTok, and it is in my showcase. Everything that you see here today is on my website at beautybycarissa.com. You will be able to find it there in my Amazon storefront or on my TikTok showcase. Alright, so this is how much we got from this, which is more than this, which is fine because the remaining amount you can actually use as a toner on your skin. And wouldn't that feel lovely? Alright, so we're going to let this cool down, but we're not going to let it cool down without adding it to our hyaluronic acid, because as it cools down, our hyaluronic acid has to constitute within it, and we're going to add our vitamin C and our HA to it right now. Alright, so go ahead and add that in there. And you're just going to let this mix. Don't add it super hot. Make sure that you let this set a little bit before you add it to the HA, and just make it a little warm. But you're just going to mix it, and the hyaluronic acid will start out as clumps. As time goes by, those clumps will basically constitute within the water, because hyaluronic acid is a humectant, and it draws the water from around it into it, and it will reconstitute within the water. or the flower water. So let's let that happen and go ahead and stir that and let it sit. It may take 30 minutes, it may take an hour. Either way, we'll be back when this is ready. Okay, so now before it's completely done, we're gonna go ahead and add our vitamin C while it's cooled a little bit more. And I am just going to add a pinch, like a salt pinch. You don't want that much. Maybe another pinch, just 2 pinches of your vitamin C, and then stir that and let that go ahead and dissolve into your mix as well. There really is a art kind of to making the perfect hyaluronic acid, because if it is too jellified, then it's going to dry your skin out. If it is nice and light and runny, it is going to have enough hydration with it to hydrate your skin if you were not to wet your skin. We are told to wet our skin when we use hyaluronic acid, and that is the absolute proper way to do it. But say somebody doesn't wet their skin, there needs to be enough moisture within the hyaluronic acid serum to give you hydration without completely drying out your skin, and that is the goal here. Keep stirring and wait until it continues to hydrate. Okay, so glycerin is not a part of the ingredient instructions, and it doesn't have to be added. But if you have extremely dry skin and you want to add an extra humectant other than the geranium and the pomegranate seed, you can add half a teaspoon of glycerin, maybe a tiny bit less, but it's not necessary. Just wanted to give you that tip. So your hyaluronic acid at this point should be dissolved. So if it's not, go ahead, or at this point, whether it is or not, go ahead and take a little whisker and get in there and just go ahead and whisk that throughout the water and give that a very good blend. And then when you're done with that, we're going to add our essential oils and our carrier oils, and we're going to do a blend after each one as well. So when you're done, the next thing you're going to do is we're going to go according to pipettes. This is a 2 ounce, and we're going to go ahead and utilize, usually you would use a scale doing formulations, but because I'm on TikTok, it makes it easier. A lot of people don't have a scale to do formulations, so I like to go by teaspoons or half a teaspoons or pipettes. So we're going to take a pipette and we're going to put a half of a teaspoon amount into our hyaluronic acid. Pomegranate seed you can get on my website as well. It's also in my showcase. And we're going to add the same amount of rosehip seed oil. We're going to make that half of a teaspoon. We're then going to take geranium essential oil after we get this blended into here. Blend it all nicely. Once you get that nice and blended, go ahead and add 5 drops of geranium. Make sure you don't put any more than 5 drops. If you have very sensitive skin, stick with 3. We're going to put 2 drops of fennel seed. And don't add any more drops than that. Go ahead and blend again. Get your bottle. Now, because you're adding essential oil and carrier oils to this, if you have glycerin in here, you will not have to shake your bottle before every use, because you're not using a heavy amount of hyaluronic acid powder. If you want to have a blending agent in here, a blending agent, you can. Let me show you. Add half a teaspoon of hyaluronic acid, which will give you a blending agent to combine all of the oil and water, because oil and water doesn't mix. So that glycerin will actually blend this together for you and give you a blend, an actual mix. So what we're going to do now is add this to our bottle, and this is your pink lady right here. Make sure you shake it before each use. And this is a beautiful skin tightening hyaluronic acid. At the same time, it will hydrate your skin. So it's following along the same lines that are the ingredients in the skin tightening serum recipe. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to follow me for more recipes like this. And don't forget to go to my website and join my VIP group. It's the big pink button at the top. And join all those ladies in there making these recipes for their skin as well. Hyaluronic acid is a very expensive ingredient, and it's a lot cheaper to make it yourself.